Wisconsin has a rich heritage in speech and debate, or what we traditionally call forensic activities, from the Latin forensis, to seek the truth. And by engaging two sides of an issue in debate, or through cultivating characterizations in performance of literature, students in forensic activities strive to understand the truth of issues facing us in society today through their own exploration, as well as listening to their peers.
And forensics has had a pretty big impact on my life. It made me, one, more confident. I came into high school very shy, very quiet, and then sophomore year when I joined, I started to get a little bit more out there, and now I find public speaking to be extremely entertaining and extremely fun, and it is what I now want to do for the rest of my life. And I found that out because of forensics. Being in extemp has also helped me strengthen my political ideals and made me realize that I do want to be a politician.
Forensics to me is an experience to make friends, and it's kind of like a little family. And my piece is called Will's Choice by Gail Griffith. It's about a mother who's writing about her son and his depression and his attempt to commit suicide. A mother's sixth sense is attuned to her child's atmospherics, like a cat before an electrical storm. I sensed something wrong the instant I opened the door to his room. Normally there were heaps of clothing, towels, and books strewn about. This morning it was clean. It was Sunday morning, and Will had been up late watching college basketball with his stepsister Jane. Will, Jane's about to leave. You need to go downstairs if you want to say goodbye. As I reached the edge of his bed, he lurched violently to one side. I grabbed his shoulder and rolled him toward me. Will? I felt his pulse. His heartbeat was off the chart. I tried to raise his head. His eyes lolled back and he moaned, "We need to get Will to the emergency room." Currently, suicide is the number 10 leading cause of death in the United States. And in 2017, the suicide rate was up to 1,300,000, according to AFSP.org. The lesson to learn here is to check in on your friends' and loved ones' well-being, even if they aren't showing signs of depression. Saving a life can be as easy as telling someone you love them.
And my time in extemp and forensics as a whole has been a story of growth. Ever since I was young, I've always liked learning about politics and the world and trying to figure out ways to help. And even though my teachers and my parents hate it a lot, I've also loved to argue. And going into extemp has been a way for me to both gain better skills in those areas, but also channel them to something more productive. And it hasn't just been personal growth, but also growth of the people I know and the ideas that I meet. Because when you go into speech and you go into forensics, you have to meet a lot of people with similarly strong ideals and a strong will. And that forces you to confront ideas that you would never experience in your own little bubble in the day-to-day life. It also allowed me to meet not just new ideas, but also new friends. And I've met many people that I cherish and would like to remember and talk with past high school, including my current girlfriend, Rachel Homily. So forensics has not only been a story of personal growth, but also growth in my worldview and in the circle of people I call my friends.
All right, so my name is Shauna Wessely, and this is about my 20th year that I have been involved with forensics. I've been coaching for 12 as the head coach at Milton High School. I thankfully have had the opportunity to learn about forensics because I asked my mom, "What's forensics?" And she refused to answer. That's literally how I started. She knew the woman who was our head coach at our high school was someone who had been there since she had been in high school and said, "If you want to know so bad, go to the meeting." So I did. And that was how my journey started in forensics. So I competed all 4 years in moments in history speaking absolutely fell in love with it. I was terrible from the time I started, had the opportunity to work with some really great people through UW Whitewater, got some help at their summer camp, improved a lot, and then I felt really confident going into college, joined the collegiate forensics team, had the opportunity to travel all over the country, met my husband, who also was my duo partner. We've been married for almost 12 years. I have 2 children who I am absolutely crazy about, so I again echo anyone who says forensics does really great things for you. I started out as somebody who was very hesitant, very shy, and I know so many people who would not say that about me now, so thank you, forensics.
In 1895, educators and administrators building toward what would become the Wisconsin idea formed the Wisconsin Lyceum Society, which was renamed as the Wisconsin High School Forensic Association in the year 1925, the same year the National Forensic League was formed in Ripon, Wisconsin. Working together to promote the ideals of speech and debate across the country, the Wisconsin High School Forensic Association and National Forensic League bore a partnership that still stands today. While the National Forensic League is now the National Speech and Debate Association and no longer resides in Wisconsin, its roots and its connections to our state as it moves forward in all things are still very strong. Today we celebrate educators and students alike for all of their hard work as they transform tomorrow through this amazing activity of speech and debate.